What is happening, YouTube? This is my 2-year ownership review of my 2019 CX-9 Mazda Signature Edition. I'm going to talk about pluses, minuses, and my verdict. I bought this, and when I first bought it, I did a little review because I read the owner's manual. This replaced us having 2 Honda Odysseys over a 17-year period. So it was our first newer car in a long time, and I did a little video just because I read the manual, and I found out a whole bunch of stuff that I kind of realized if you don't read the manual or work for Mazda, you're probably not going to know this stuff. So I did the video, and I was noticing the other day, just kind of randomly, there was a comment on it, and I noticed it had a bunch of views, a pretty decent traffic for my channel, which kind of surprised me. So I thought, hey, let me do a follow-up, and that might be something that some people are interested in. So that's where we are. This is a 2-year ownership review. I'm going to talk about pluses, minuses, and then sort of my verdict. And I'll just go ahead and say the verdict first. The bottom line with this vehicle is if you're looking for a large SUV, and when I say large, I'm talking about a CX-9 or a Highlander or a Honda Pilot, as opposed to a small SUV like a RAV4 or a Mazda CX-5 or something like that. I'm gonna hammer it right here. It's a good spot just to show you the acceleration. There we go. Then this is the one. This is the one. This is a small, large SUV, and that is why I bought it. I knew that was what it was. It is big, but it's not real big. In other words, it has the 7 seats, but the third row is probably smaller than probably any other third row SUV out there. And if you know that and you can deal with that, then this is the one, because of the small size. Not only does it look cooler, in my opinion, but in terms of just the driving dynamics, that's what you get when it's smaller, and you get just so much more because it's a little bit smaller. So if you can trade off the room, like not needing a third row, like for us it came down to, we have 4 kids and we didn't need the third row anymore because 2 of them are gone and 3 of them are gone now, so we really don't need it, but we wanted it just in case we had to like throw someone back there. So if you'd like to have the third row versatility, but you don't have to have it for like every day or every week driving, then this is a great SUV. If you need that third row and you got to put like a kid of any size back there, then don't get this, because it is very small and it's a pain in the butt to reach back there and stuff, just because it's smaller. But for us, it's perfect. Again, having 17 years in minivan and then graduating to this, this thing has been awesome. And we put people in the third row just a few times, and it's fine, in a pinch, in a small drive, small trip. It's totally worked. And then, the other thing is, like in some larger SUVs, you can fit more cargo-wise. With this, it's not as big, and I'll show you that in a minute when I park. But, just understanding that, like, you're not going to be able to fit as much. But again, for us, with just when we bought it, we had 2 kids left, and now we just have 1. It's just plenty of room, absolutely. Tons of room. Fold the third seats back and, call it a day. This is just, I'm not even flooring it here, but tons of torque with the 2.5 liter turbo engine. It's 230 horses, I think, and 310 maybe torque, foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, it's plenty of torque, plenty of power, and really good gas mileage. As you're looking right here, you can see it's 23.2. That's just around town. If I flip this to trip B, it's 22.7. That's over the last 6,000 miles. The car does have 13,900 miles on it now. So, over half the life of the car, we just kind of set that at some point. Actually, that's my oil change. It's 7,000, it's due. So I set that when I just changed the oil for the first time around 7,000 miles. And it's hit 22. I'm going to floor it again. So plenty of torque. 22.7 mpgs around town. That's mostly around town. We've done a couple little trips, but nothing to speak of. And this car has been super reliable. So yeah, let me park and get out, and I got a list of pluses and minuses, and we'll be done. All right, you just stay right here, my friend. I'm gonna leave you on since I just hammered it. I don't like to turn the car off after having just spooled the turbo up until the oil temperatures had a chance to chill a little bit. So where were we? And I wanted a Kia Stinger. So if you looked at my channel, you know that like all my cars are like, they're kind of kind of silly fast and sporty. So, but my wife was like, nah. We drove a Stinger. She loved it, but we were used to having something big that felt safer. So this was the right one. So we wanted something that was performance feeling, you know, smaller feeling, but still high up and safe, and big and cargo capacity, ... So this was a great compromise. And to be honest, the Stinger just wasn't big enough for a family of 4 for us for travel and stuff. But maybe one day I'll convince her. But this has been awesome. So yeah, let me go through pluses and minuses. Plus, first of all, is reliability. I did just detail this, by the way. It looks really great. I spent like 2 hours on it, cleaning it, so cleaned up really, really nice. First thing, reliability, 0 problems. Obviously, only 2 years old. You know, we still have warranty, but no problems at all, which, you know, I didn't expect any. Mazda's pretty decent reliability. But, you know, if you're in the market, I would buy this. You know, and that's a high point, is reliability. As I said, another plus for this is in 2 years of ownership is the fuel economy. 23 around town, high 20s for trips. I've done a few trips in it, and we get, you know, 27, 28 with the air on the whole time. So yeah, pretty great. And in our Odyssey, just for reference, owning a V6 Odyssey from without cylinder deactivation, it was the EX, but still. It got like 17, 18 miles per gallon, sometimes 19 around town, but usually about 18 around town. And we own that for 14 years. So 18 versus 23 around town for this, and this has way more torque. Driving dynamics, again, I mentioned that earlier, just like buying the smaller SUV, it, you know, it just feels smaller. It doesn't feel big. It doesn't feel like a Highlander. It doesn't feel like an Explorer. And maybe you want it to feel bigger, but like I wanted something that felt some connection. And again, if you read all the reviews of these when they came out, they blew away all the other SUVs. People basically said the same thing I said, which is if you can deal with something a little smaller, then get this, because it feels so, again, just the feedback, the steering, the driving dynamics, the suspension, it's just so well tuned. You don't feel like you're in a boat. You actually feel like you're connecting with the vehicle. And at the same time, it's very comfortable. And on that note, I'll just mention, I mentioned back seats and such. Let me do that. So, where's that button? Here it is. You know, so the back seats are plenty big, the second seat. And then the third seat, like I mentioned, I mean, they're not up right now, but they're not the hugest. But this is with the seats down. I mean, you got plenty of cargo capacity. When the seats are up, like they come to here. So that's like, you really can't fit too much back there. But again, in a pinch, it's versatile because I've got 3 rows if I need it. And then when most of the time, not 99% of the time, we leave the 3rd row down and we can fit anything back there. So, and then just features, like, is another plus. Like, of course, we have the signature model, so we've got like everything, but that was important to me. Like, I wanted to get something really nice for my wife. So we got the signature model, and, you know, it's got the, you know, the heated mirrors, and we got a couple add-ons like these, the car came with these lighted door sill things, which are awesome. The mats, you know, those are add-ons to the heavy-duty mats. But just things you get with a signature, you know, you get, you know, you get, like you get the heated wheel, which is awesome. And again, I realize this review won't really pertain to lower trim levels, but you get the heated steering wheel, and you get the heated seats, and you get the heads-up display there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's just awesome. Again, I'm not sure which level. That's probably with all of them. But just the heated seats, the you know, the luxury, the Napa leather, that was something I wanted. This red auburn with the rosewood is just a beautiful combination, which is why we picked a 2019 instead of a 2020. Yeah, just lots of great features. And again, when I was shopping, I read the reviews, and everyone basically said these feel like Audis. And it's true. Like, it's just so nice. It's such a nice luxury feeling vehicle. And then comfortable, like, these seats are awesome. Very comfortable car on trips. Again, we've done a few road trips, not too many, but a few. Super comfortable. Even the back seats are heated, so that's awesome. And then the last thing I'll say in pluses is value. Like, this is just, you get so much. So this car was $40,000. The sticker says 50, and I negotiated. We bought it at the end of 19. It only had 20 miles, so it was brand new. And I you know, I've just bought enough cars that I knew I could probably get what I wanted. So I went to a couple dealerships, and I said, I'll give you $44,000 out the door, which was basically $40,000 sticker price, and then taxes, tag, you know, a title, all that brought it up to 44. So, you know, we got a MSRP. This was 50,000 for around 40,500, and then with all the taxes, it ended up being right at 44. And that's what I told them. I said, I want my loan to be 44,000. So, you know, it's a great value. Like for 40,000 plus taxes, we got like a lot in this car. There's a lot for $40,000. And if you paid 50, you know, that's what they were asking. We were probably in the right place at the right time. And so value, just a good value. Negative, you know, I only really have one negative on this car. I will say this isn't really a negative. It's probably any car, but I have noticed the seat here is just starting to show. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but there's just a little darkness here. It's not really worn, but it's, yeah, well, I guess it is kind of worn. Like if you compare that to this one. And, you know, it's probably any car. My wife is tiny. She's 100 pounds. So how did she do that? I never drive this. She almost always drives it. So I don't know. But I have noticed that, but that's probably any car. But it's not really a negative. It's just something that I'm aware of. You know, it's probably just because this is the first new car I've had since 2006. So it's sort of like you're seeing your baby deteriorate just a little bit. But really my only negative, guys, and I'll close with this, the only negative I've got with this vehicle at all is the tech. The tech is great. Like the navigation is great. You know, the interface, the radio, the Bose system is fantastic. It's really good. It sounds good. But I will say, like, trying to get your phone to sync to this thing and trying to tell it what you want to do, it's like it's still at that point where if you don't like know exactly how to tell it to navigate you somewhere, it takes you a few tries. It's not intuitive. And you know, the other thing is, if you're moving, this touchscreen is disabled. Now, I don't know if the later models are still like this, but for mine, which is a 2019, if the car is rolling at all, you can't use the touchscreen for safety, and I get it. But it just kind of sucks because everything else in life, like you can be moving and you can use the touchscreen, including most other cars I've driven. And in this one you can't. So, and then just little things like just trying to get it to play, like if your phone is connected through USB, through Bluetooth versus through the cord. And even like when I plug this cord in, like sometimes it takes it like 2 or 3 minutes to figure out that the phone is interfacing with the car. And you know, it's a little frustrating. I mean, first world problems, but it's just one of those things that for a car that's $50,000, you kind of would think like, maybe, you know, it would be able to pick that sort of thing up a little bit quicker. And, you know, again, there's just a little bit of fumbling. I mean, pretty much still 2 years later, every time I get in the car and I try to do the music, play music off my phone, like it takes, like, you know, I'm trying to find the menu, and then, you know, my wife says, we'll do this, and my daughter's in the back saying, do this, Dad. And, you know, it's like, it just takes some time. It's not intuitive. You just have to kind of fumble through the menus. And I've read other people say that, so it's not just because I'm a dork. It's like, that's a legitimate thing with these cars. And, you know, while I'm talking about tech, like the cameras, the backup camera, I actually backed up into something a few months ago, and the camera didn't warn me, and it put a dent the size of a dime in the car, in the back of it. So I was like, dang it, Mazda, you let me down. So just little stuff like that, like even the camera, like you know, the backup camera it kind of sucks. The 3D camera, like the 360 degree view camera, like it's there, but it kind of sucks. It's like just not that good. I mean, you can see it's all right. Again, first world problems, like it's awesome to have. It helps with parking, but like we drove the Stinger and then we test drove this, and they were the same price. And it was just like the Stinger was like light years ahead in terms of how good the tech was, how good the navigation was, how good the map looked, how good the interface was, how good the cameras were. So that's really my only con, like having this for 2 years now, my only con would be the tech. But to be honest, like that's a very small trade-off for what you get. So I love this car. It's been great. Probably gonna own it for a long time until I can convince her to get a Stinger. But till then, yeah, I hope this is helpful, and it's been great. And 2 years, 0 issues, good gas mileage, no problems, and she's trucking along. Okay, thanks for watching the Mazda CX-9 2-year review, the signature trim. Take care, peace.